Good afternoon, High Leaders. Today I'm going to read one of my favorite books, Wangari's Tree of Peace, which happens to be a true story from the continent of Africa. In this text, we are going to focus on how Wangari shows courage within her community. We will notice that throughout her life, she faces many challenges and takes risks to achieve her goal. I hope you enjoy this book as much as I do. Wangari lives under an umbrella of green trees in the shadow of Mount Kenya in Africa. She watches the birds in the forest where she and her mother go to gather firewood for cooking. She helps harvest the sweet potatoes, sugarcane, and maize from the rich soil. Wangari shines in school, and when she grows tall like the trees in the forest, she wins a scholarship to study in America. 6 years later, her studies over, Wangari returns to her Kenya home and sees a change. What has happened, she wonders. Where are all the trees? Wangari sees women bent from hauling firewood miles and miles from home. She sees barren land where no crops grow. And where are the birds? So right now, Wangari is noticing a huge problem that is occurring within her community, right? Because they chop down all of these trees, they don't have the fertile soil to grow the beautiful fruits and vegetables, right? Women have to travel very, very far for firewood. And also, the birds are gone. So a lot of those animals that they once had have disappeared. So we can tell by her face right here that she is really upset by what has happened. But a spark arises in her, right? She wants to make a change. She's not going to give up. Thousands of trees have been cut down to make room for buildings, but no one planted new trees to take their place. Will all of Kenya become a desert? She wonders as her tears fall. So she's really concerned for her community right now. Wangari thinks about the barren land. I can begin to replace some of the lost trees here in my own backyard, one tree at a time. She starts by planting 9 seedlings. And I love this part right here where she says, one tree at a time, right? We've heard that phrase before, to take one step at a time in life. Our goals, our ideas, our mission is not going to happen like that overnight, right? Sometimes it's a slow and steady process to achieve what we want. Watching the seedlings take root gives Wangari the idea to plant more, to start a farm for baby trees, a nursery. In an open space, she plants row after row of the tiny trees. Next, Wangari convinces the village women that planting trees is a good thing. She gives each one a seedling. Our lives will be better when we have trees again. You'll see. We are planting the seeds of hope. The seeds of hope. It's a wonderful phrase. The women spread out over their village, planting tiny trees in long rows, like a green belt stretching over the land. So I'm thinking at this moment, right? How did planting that one little seedling that Wangari did, right? How did that impact the land around her? How did that impact her community? How did it really transform it? The government men laugh. Women can't do this, they say. It takes trained foresters to plant trees. The women ignore the laughter and keep planting. So they keep persistent, right? They don't give up. Even when people are putting them down, they know that they need to plant these trees for their community to flourish. Wangari pays them a small amount for each seedling, still living after 3 months. Their first earnings ever. Word travels like wind rustling through leaves about the green returning to Wangari's village. Soon other women in other villages and towns and cities in Kenya are planting long rows of seedlings too. So we're noticing right here on this page that her courage is contagious, right? Her idea. So she decided to plant this one seedling, and in turn, all of these other women joined her mission, right? They believed in her, they supported her, they wanted to solve this problem with her. So how did she inspire others in her community? But the cutting continues. Wangari stands tall as an oak to protect the old trees still remaining. We need a park more than we need an office tower. Look at the courage she's showing on this page, right? She's standing tall in this moment. She is not giving up. And still she stands tall. So the government did not agree with what she was doing. They became very, very upset by her actions. But she says this line, right is right, even if you are alone. And I want you to think for a second, what does that quote mean to you? Right? Right is right, even if you're alone. So I'm thinking that what you believe in, it still holds power, right? Your voice is important. Even if all these women didn't join her, right? She knew that what she did by planting that little seedling was so important. It was so courageous. And she's going to keep fighting for that goal. She's not going to give up. But Wangari is not alone. Talk of the trees spreads over all of Africa like ripples in Lake Victoria. More women hear the talk and plant even more seedlings in longer and longer rows. The seedlings take root and grow tall until there are over 30 million trees where there were none. So look, her courage is contagious, right? These women are not giving up. They are inspired by her. They are driven. They are passionate about what they are doing. The umbrella of green in Kenya returns. Women walk tall, their backs straight, for now they can gather firewood closer to home. But when I read this, right, when they said women walk tall, their backs straight, yeah, they no longer have the firewood on their back. They don't have to walk miles. But I think they're proud of what they have done, right? Of what they have achieved for their community, for their land, for their, their country, their continent. How powerful they are, how they're persisting and persevering through these challenges. The land is no longer barren. Sweet potatoes, sugarcane, and maize grow again in the rich red earth. The whole world hears of Wangari's trees and of her army of women who planted them. And if you were to climb to the very top of Mount Kenya today, you would see the millions of trees growing below you, and the green Wangari brought back to Africa. There she is at the top of her tree, right? She's looking out at all that she has achieved, right? Think about how she must feel at that moment. All that courage, right? All those challenges that she faced, all those risks that she took, just to see this moment. She must feel so, so good. So here just gives a little snippet about her personal life and where she went to school. And I think what is probably one of the biggest accomplishments that she has achieved in life, is receiving the Nobel Peace Prize because of this green belt movement. So because she planted all these beautiful trees, she has received one of the highest awards that you can. And she said, "We are called to assist the earth to heal her wounds, and in the process, heal our own. To embrace the whole creation in all its diversity, beauty, and wonder." So I want to thank you all for listening to my story today, and I hope Wangari inspired you to make your world a better place.
We are at the end of Character Education Storytime. See you next month for another character read aloud featuring a new High teacher.